All right, so let me tell you the 2 ways you can stop having sugar cravings right now. And it's exactly what I did to get off the sugar, because I used to be addicted to sugar for as long as I can remember. And I have the fillings, the cavities to show for it. Like, I loved sweets. Like, after school, the first thing in my mind was, I'm going to go to the off license, the supermarket, and I'm going to buy some sweets. I'm going to buy some Haribos, some gummy bears, some fruit pastels, if you're from England, Chewits, Starburst, Skittles, all that. And I would just devour it. And I was just a sugar fiend every single day. I carried that into my adult life as well. So from school up until my adult life. And that was even worse, because then I had money, more money, so I could buy whatever I wanted. So I'd go to the supermarket and buy a big box of all this candy, all these sweets. And that's how addicted I was to sugar. And even when I got in shape, like 6 years ago at the time of recording this, I got in shape. So you can still get in shape being addicted to sugar. And there's a lot of guys here in Bali, like there's a lot of guys that they are very fit, but they're addicted to sugar and their internal health is terrible. So that's another thing. Like, you can look fit, but you can also have shit internal health as well. And so how did I get off the sugar? Well, first of all, is you have to realize that you got to start switching to whole foods, right? So that's the first step. Is sugar, those candy, all the chocolate, it's all processed food, right? It's junk food. So first of all, switching from that to whole food, which was fruits. So I'd switch to the Haribos for pineapple. And pineapple is a sweet fruit, right? So it's not like a low sugar fruit. But that was what initially started the transition for me. And I started eating fruit, started eating bananas and pineapples and, you know, all the really bright fruits that are the sweetest. And then I started realizing, oh, I don't actually need to eat the Haribos. I don't actually need to eat all this candy. And then the second thing I did was to switch the high sugar fruit for low sugar fruit. So that looked like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackcurrants. And that really changed things, because now I'm like blanding my palate, right? So like where I had a high tolerance for lots of sugar, now I'm still getting sugar, but I'm getting less of it, and I'm getting it in a whole food, like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Blueberries actually in England, they're quite cheap, so I got those all the time. And blueberries, I love blueberries, they're delicious. So I'd eat those all the time after my dinner. And when I'm feeling like I needed to have a snack. But the biggest thing I did, and this actually is number 3, the biggest thing I did was change up what I was eating. So instead of eating high carb meals, which actually lend themselves to eating more sugar because they're spiking your insulin, so you actually want more sugar when you do that. What I did was I started eating more protein and more fat in my meals and started eating way more of it, right? So this is what really helped me to reduce my cravings. Oh, and number 4 is I started fasting more. So coupled all of these things in together, that's how I started getting rid of my cravings, because I started fasting 16 hours a day, eating only in 8-hour windows. And when I ate, I would eat a lot of protein, a lot of fat. So that looks like, you know, steak, red meat. It looks like lots of seafood. It looks like lots of avocado, ghee butter, lots of butter, salmon. And then I started out eating lots of nuts, like walnuts, macadamia nuts, all these healthy fats, right? And then now I don't really eat many nuts because of the anti-nutrients, which that's a whole nother video, phytates. They bind to zinc and magnesium and prevent their full absorption. But anyway, so that's what I did to stop my sugar cravings. And I don't have any cravings now. Like, my skin's super clear. Before, I went to the doctor, I had all these dots on my forehead, all these little spots on my forehead, because I wasn't taking care of myself. And I was just addicted to sugar, addicted to carbs. And if you know someone who's addicted to carbs, maybe you are, most people are, like, you can't go to a restaurant and order a meal without it coming with carbs. And most people they're so like medicated on carbs. Like, when you get off the carbs and you decrease the amount of carbs you eat, like, it's like you see for the first time. You have this clarity of your mind that you've never felt before, because you're just constantly hazing your mind over with all this sugar. So when you get off the sugar, your life completely changes. Like, my life's completely changed now that I'm not addicted to gummy bears and candy. Like, I can still go and have like orange juice for my sugar, or I can eat an orange, I can eat pineapple, I still eat fruit, I love fruit, but I'm not eating like processed food. And that's one of the biggest changes that you can ever make in your life, is going from processed food to whole food. Go figure, right? But that change is just magical. Like, it's what nature intended. That's how we're supposed to be eating, right? And so when you do that, you won't have the cravings. Couple that with the fasting and eating nutrient-dense food, you know, you're getting the protein and fat all the way up there, and you're satiated. You don't have any cravings. And this happens to all my clients. Like, within the first couple of weeks, when you join my program, you'll start saying stuff that my clients say. They're like,
dude, like, I'm feeling amazing. Like, I have so much more energy. I don't crave chocolate. Had a guy last week.
He used to be eating chocolate every single day, and now he's not eating chocolate for 2-3 weeks because he doesn't feel like needing it, because he's increased his protein, he's increased his fat, and he's doing the fasting, and he's eating twice a day, big meals, no snacking. Well, he's snacking on salami, but again, perfect. So he's noticing all these changes, and it's only been 3 weeks. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, my story of how I overcame this is how I'm helping my clients overcome it. And it's working like crazy, because go figure, we're not all that different. Everyone thinks we're so different, but, you know, human body is a human body, man. Of course, there's intricacies. I'm not going to say there's not. But in general, like, what I'm saying will work for most people, okay? And if it doesn't, then there's other issues that we need to address, which is great. That's why I'm here. So give us a try. And if you find like you need help implementing this, because, you know, a lot of people need help with implementing things and doing what they say they're going to do, doing what they know they should be doing, go ahead and click the link below this video and register for your free call, or you can watch the webinar that I've made, or DM me on Instagram at @TheRealDarko, or go to callwithaaron.net and book your free call. We give you a free health assessment where we can go into all of these things that we're talking about, right? Like your cravings. Are you drinking alcohol? Are you smoking? What's your lifestyle like? What's your stress levels like? We can go into all of that and map out a game plan for you. And if you want our help to implement it, then we're here for you, all right? So go ahead and click the link in the bio, in the description, and I'll talk to you soon. Like and subscribe. Ciao for now.